Basic steps is start with the initial cleaning. Remember, this is going to take you years depending on the number of pieces of equipment you have. Go through auditing it. Look at things that need to be repaired in it. Look at how you're keeping track of it, logging it. Look at how your preventative maintenance is. And then look at predictive maintenance when you get into some of the actual gauging that you do with like thermographics and infrared to start predicting when it's going to fail. You can do simple spreadsheets where you can do, even on clipboards, what are the planned activities that you're going to do. You can do an evaluation on your piece of equipment. You may want to prioritize which pieces of equipment you want to look at first. So this is a simple little chart you can decide which piece of equipment are more critical to look at. Make it easy for maintenance to go in for your piece of equipment. I know a lot of times when maintenance goes to pieces of equipment, they have a lot of tear down and set back up to even get inside the machine. So look at the access panels and the doors. You could have a number of bolts. You could have it hinged. You could have a pair hole where you can pop things on and off quick. But you want to make it quick disconnect, quick access in and out. Just because maintenance is not on the clock doesn't mean you want to spend 15, 20 minutes just taking the gates and stuff off the machine even to get inside of it. Make it easy for them. And then use cutouts if you can. Here's an example. In order to shut this machine down, you had to shut the main air off. It was behind an access panel. So maintenance had to spend time taking this panel off to shut the air off to be able to work on the piece of equipment. We just cut a hole in it, and now maintenance can reach in and pull it. They don't even have to take the panel off. Made it easier for them. Of course, we made sure that they didn't cut themselves on the opening. All right, so you want to think safety. But the idea is we made it easier for maintenance to understand where things are, labeled it, and easy access. Now let's talk about spare parts. This is an actual picture, not made up, of a spare parts crib in a maintenance department. Again, we talked about motors, right? Replacing motors, which are expensive. When was the last time you think they replaced their motors? It's been a while. Okay. What kind of spare parts program do you have set up? How do you decide what parts are in, what parts are not? Who keeps track of it? What kind of spare parts program do you have? Anyone want to say what they have?
We have a breakdown board on all of our equipment.
Okay.
And then once something breaks down, we log it and put it in a file.
Yep.
After it's broke down over a 3 or 6 month period, then we put that in our breakdown inventory.
Okay.
So that if something does break down, we go to our locker, pull it out, and it's there. Otherwise, we don't keep it in stock.
Okay, so you base it on recent history and breakages, right? Okay, that's typical. Anybody else do anything different?
Typically, look at our OEM material. Look at their spare parts list. Buy what we think may be something that we need, quickly or a quick breakdown, and then we'll also analyze the lead times.
Okay, good.
Anything over a long lead time, it depends on that piece of equipment, we'll get it.
Okay. All right, so you have two things going on there. One is you take a recommendation from the supplier. Okay, these are the recommended spare parts. Some people will take it for Bible and you buy all of it. Others say, let's critique it and buy that. And then the other one is that you're going to look at how soon I can get those parts. What's the lead time on those parts to determine if I should have it or not, which I think is a very good point of looking at it. You should develop your critical parts list. It should be by machine. Look at what's critical. And when I say critical, let's define it. Is it a chronic problem? Do you have issues of it breaking down? And two, is it difficult to obtain within 24 or 48 hours? Pick a time frame. Say it's 24 hours. If I can get it within 24 hours, there's no need for me to have to carry it in inventory if I can get it that quick. Maybe.
Right.
All right.
We also include business need.
Okay.
As well as if we run a sale and we shut the whole line down because we didn't have a $20,000 processor.
Right.
We have a $20,000 processor.
Exactly. Then the other element is by need.
By need, cost.
Okay. So if 24 hours is not a good number for that particular that need, you would certainly say, I need to have that one on the shelf. I need 0 time.
Yes.
Okay. But basically, if you don't have that, have some criteria of a time frame. If it's 24 hours, there's no need to keep it, and it's regardless of the cost. Don't worry about the cost, because you need it, you need it. Okay? But be careful you don't oversupply with your spare parts. You have things, all these just in case. Like that happened 7 years ago. It's not chronic. All right? And then make sure you evaluate it. What I would suggest is look at your current approach to your defining of what's critical in your spare parts and apply these rules to it and see what you come up with. See what's different. If nothing else, it now is a topic for understanding and discussion. Should we do something different? Would it impact our business, and how? So you certainly want to have a criteria set up, and everybody should understand and buy in on that criteria. Now for training, we want to look at what skills and techniques of our inventory and hierarchy. Basically, you want to create a skills matrix of what people should be trained to know how to do. So when you go into the maintenance department, do you have a skills matrix? Like electrical, mechanical, okay?
Broke down by machine.
It's broke down by machines, okay?
And by,
Do you know by each person who's
absolutely,
got the skill?
including the manager,
Excellent, excellent.
the supervisors, and each technician.
Now, where is this kept?
It's on their maintenance board.
It's on the board, so I could go up and see it, walk out there. Excellent. So you got all the elements that you need. I know all the skill sets that I need. I know who knows what, and it's visible. It's not locked away in a binder or in a computer somewhere. Okay? Excellent. So you should have that for all your maintenance. You should also have it for your employees, their skill levels. And then you have a plan to how to improve that skill level. So how are you training it? Again, look at your standard work. What kind of training are you doing? What kind of experiences are you allowing your operators to have in your maintenance? Look at on-the-job training. Look at a mentorship program. We talked about that earlier. What kind of mentorship program do you have in maintenance?
We do cross-training.
Okay.
Because if we can't afford to have just a electronic tech, we need everybody's skill sets to be improved.
Okay. But do you have someone that's super talented?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. How are you leveraging that skill?
We use them to train others as well.
That's what you should do. Absolutely. Okay? But if you always had them working on tough jobs and never training, you're not taking full advantage of their skill.
No.
Okay? And then set up individual challenges and then perform your plan to make sure that you do the training and evaluation. And then that changes over time as you get skilled. Sounds like you're way up front on that one. Okay, make it visual. Have the schedules of the training set up so people can get the training, see what the matrix is of who knows what. You can do a simple spreadsheet, but make sure it's posted where people can see it. You can do a simple color coding system where I either know a little bit about it, be level 1, level 2 is I can actually explain what's going on, level 3 is you can actually do it, level 4 is they're good enough they can teach it. So it's not just a simple yes, no if you know it, what is to the level that they know it? And your goal really is to get everybody where they can teach it. That's what you want to move toward. So in summary of the TPM, we want equipment should be given proper attention and maintained regularly. It takes a team and gets everybody involved, make it visual. Use the OEE as a good metric to determine how well your equipment is being used and have a plan. If you notice that all these elements have a plan, and then you measure that plan, actual to expected. So you work the plan. Don't just put the plan up and never look at it again. Work it to see how you're actually applying it. Okay, any questions?